In the field of medicine, an Italian scientist who invented a specific technology for the early detection of cancer is making an appeal to administrators and politicians. This new device assures faster and lower risk examinations for patients at a lower cost. The dilemma is that for this machine to become a reality, large industries in the field of medicine need to embrace and implement this new technological device.
There is revolutionary technology that will make it possible to save hundreds of thousands of lives from the disease of the century through early cancer detection. Just imagine a PET-CT 400 times more efficient than those currently used in hospitals, which reduces the examination time from 1 hour to just 4 minutes, exposing the patient to a significantly smaller radioactive dose. The inventor of this 3D-CBS technology is Crosetto, a 57-year-old scientist who has worked in the field of high-energy physics for the past 25 years. For the last 10 years, he has worked in the United States developing his device capable of identifying cancer at an early stage, increasing the possibility of curing the disease up to 98%. Here you see the computerized heart of his revolutionary invention, the 3D-CBS. Although the new technology has been scientifically verified by numerous review panels, including universities, physicians, scientists, and biologists, the new device has not yet been produced. To put it simply, it is not economically convenient for the three major manufacturing companies that control the market of the 4,000 PET-CT devices around the world to produce the new devices. Recently, the Italian scientist Crosetto was invited by physicist Professor Zecchicchi to give a presentation at a series of seminars on planetary emergencies at the World Laboratory in Erice, Italy. Crosetto has set up a non-profit organization asking politicians, institutions, and all those who determine the future of public health to promote fundraising so that production and implementation of this device for early cancer detection can begin.
I wanted this to be everyone's project, so the first thing that I did was to announce that I have donated 80% of the income from my patents for purchasing 3D-CBS devices for healthcare facilities and to provide free examination for low-income patients. We all want our generation and future generations to benefit from early cancer detection through a safe examination for the patient and less expensive for healthcare providers.
Nearly $8 billion a year are spent on cancer research. Most of it is steered toward drug development and late-stage treatments. More than 140 million Americans will get cancer at some point in their lives. Find the disease early and survival rates are high. Catch it late and it is much more likely to be fatal. Unlike mammograms, which screen for tissue density in one organ and not the entire body, positron emission tomography, or PET, is much more sensitive because it works at the molecular level, providing much more precise information. But it is still inefficient because current PET only captures 1 out of 10,000 signals from tumor markers. This does not provide early cancer detection, and it requires a high dose of radiation that is not considered safe for screening asymptomatic patients. Decades ago, scientists at the world's largest international laboratories faced this same problem in high-energy physics with experiments of trying to find unknown particles from signals.
The Atlas detectors are capable of recording all of the 600 million collision events per second. Now, if all that data was saved, it would fill up every hard drive on the planet in one day. So a sophisticated trigger system was created to analyze and save in real time 100 of the highest quality collision events out of the millions that happen every second of every minute, of every hour, of every day.
As we've just seen, all the information can't be saved. We can see the problem illustrated here. If a certain amount of time is required to accurately analyze the information, and the information is coming in at a high rate of speed, then much of the information can't be analyzed and is lost because it can't be saved. This all happens in real time. After 17 years of experience working with triggers at CERN in Geneva, Switzerland, In 1991, Crosetto was invited to work at the superconducting supercollider GEM experiment in Texas to solve similar problems. While there, he invented the programmable Level 1 trigger, capable of implementing features of Level 2 and accurately finding any particles at very high data input rates. In 1992, Crosetto's 3D flow programmable technology was presented to the scientific community at conferences in France and the United States, where it was compared to other approaches for efficient trigger systems. His innovation was recognized and adopted by the thousands of scientists of the GEM experiment in April 1993. The director of the superconducting supercollider and Fermilab requested an international scientific review of Crosetto's project. His project passed later that year. This invention led him to other inventions in particle detection and PET medical imaging. Over the next several years, initially with U.S. funding and later with personal funding and with the support of friends, he was able to build his invention. In 2000, he published several scientific articles and books describing the advantages of his innovations in medical imaging, which he presented at the IEEE Nuclear Science Symposium in Lyon, France. The first demonstration of his hardware was made at the NSSMIC Industrial Exhibition in 2001 in San Diego, California, where he demonstrated the execution of real-time photon detection algorithms. The timing was recorded on a digital oscilloscope. In a 2003 international review, which included Jerry Merriman, the co-inventor of the pocket calculator, Crosetto's innovation was validated for its use in positron emission technology. The panel concluded, Crosetto has done an excellent job of designing the electronics and implementing his ideas, given his limited economical resources. No error or fault could be found for the expected performance. Crosetto has designed and built an industrialized modular system of his invention based on IBM PC boards that allow expansion. The first version performed according to expectations. Each 3D flow board consists of 2,211 components, over 20,000 contact pins connected through only 8 circuit board layers for signals and 6 layers for power and ground. The two major problems we've seen before were, first, if the time allowed to analyze the information was increased, much of the information was never analyzed due to the high data input rate. Second, if the time to analyze the information was decreased, the quality of the analyzed information was compromised. Here you can see the solution and how the information passes through the trigger at a high data input rate, while at the same time allowing the appropriate time to analyze the information. Represented here again by a group of science students is how the trigger works. On the right, the student represents the data input with a brown envelope. As the data comes in, everything is synchronized. The brown envelope, or data, is received and carried to a room for analysis. These students have the appropriate time to accurately analyze the data. As the new set of data arrives, if the room is busy analyzing previous data, the new data is then passed on to the next room to be analyzed, and so on for each room. After the students in the room are finished with their analysis, a white envelope containing the results is then passed on to the student, who then saves only the positive results on the hard drive. In this way, both problems have been solved because no data is lost due to insufficient analysis time. If the time to analyze the information must be increased, or if the rate of data input is increased, then the number of rooms is simply increased to handle the capacity. This animation highlights the differences between current PE technology and Crosetto's 3D complete body screening technology. As we have seen, the 3D-CBS technology offers 3 advantages to all of mankind. First, because of the safer low radiation dose required, people can have multiple screenings during their lifetime. Second, because this technology works at the molecular level, early cancer detection is possible. Third, 6 times as many patients per day can be examined, and at a reduced cost. These 3 advantages mean that hundreds of thousands of lives could be saved each year by detecting cancer in its earliest stages, so the survival rate is high. Most of the money spent today for cancer research is spent on late-stage cancer cures, even though the survival rate is low. How can you help and get involved? Please write your federal and state representatives and request funding to bring this technology to the world. Demand that this 3D-CBS new technology be made available to the public in need of early cancer detection. You can also visit on the internet www.crosettofoundation.com.